lovely, it's Lex, and I have another speed build for you. So I've been doing some starter houses, but I haven't done a 2-story starter house in a while, so I was gonna see if I could still do them. They can be a little bit harder because you have to spend the extra money on the stairs, and usually I think they end up having more wall pieces than just a 1-floor ranch style starter house would have because of the second story. So you end up having to budget your money a little bit differently if you're trying to keep under the 20,000 simoleon thing that I have as like a rule for starters. But I mean, you could do whatever you wanted, but that's why I like to try to stay under 20,000 simoleons if I'm doing a starter. So I think this one comes in about 19.5-ish, maybe a little bit more than that, but it's definitely under 20. And we ended up having lots of extra cash left over again, so I was able to add in a couple extra skill items. You'll see that periodically I pop into the like save this lot just so I can see how much money we actually have left. I was building this with Steve, who hasn't been around in quite some time, unless you've been on the channel since like one of the first like videos I did with Steve. Don't go watch those, they're awful. So that's who I had with me here, but he has a decent amount of money, so I also had to keep checking it to make sure that I wasn't going over, because I think he has like 100,000 simoleons. So as much as I wanted to just use all of his money and make this house really nice, I was like, no, it's a starter. Stop trying to make it fancy. Roofing, I was pretty pleased with how the roof came out on this one. I did have to kind of restart this piece I'm working on right now, just because whenever I tried to extend it out into the house, it did that thing where it clips through the wall. I don't know, it doesn't do that to me all the time, it only does it sometimes, so I haven't really been able to figure out exactly what it is that I'm doing that's causing that clipping to happen. I don't know, if you know exactly what it is, tell me down in the comments, but I haven't been able to figure out the exact cause for it. These side roof pieces here that are really small, they look so goofy until I go in and add the like roof trim on them. I don't know what it is about those small pieces, but when you have really small pieces like that, they look like they're floating. I don't know. They're not. They just look like they are. I also did this on one of the 20 by 20 lots. I've been really liking building on those for these small starters just because they are cheaper, and when the houses are small and they're on a big lot, I feel like it looks really strange, but if you build a small house on a small lot, I feel like it fits where it is earlier. This porch, I ended up doing that way because I saw a house that had a porch like this when I was driving around the other day and really liked how it looked. So the roof piece extends out a little bit, and then they just have the 2 columns, and instead of having a fence on the front, I used a half wall instead because I wanted it to be brick and I wanted it to match the rest of the siding of the house whenever we get into that here. So that little check was to see how much our structure was at before I added in floors and things. I like to do that, like I know I've said it before, but I like to check periodically to make sure that I'm not over budgeting things. Generally, I like to spend about 10,000 or 11,000 on the building of the house and the exterior, and then the flooring, all that kind of stuff, and then use the remainder of the money for the furniture and any kind of decorative items that I would be adding to the house. So that's a good way to split it up if you're trying to stay in a budget and you want to only use 20,000 simoleons for your Sims starter houses. That's a good way to do it. Spend 10 on the actual house and then spend the other 10 on the furniture. So it's a good way, I guess, to also make sure that you're not building the house larger than it should be, just for like budgeting purposes. But I don't know, I really like the red on this one. The only thing I don't like is the lower siding that I use that has the brick that I wanted, puts those weird like white portions on the corners, but the upper siding doesn't do that. I don't know, it's so stupid, and I miss the color wheel more and more every time I play. I love that color wheel. I used it for everything from Sims 3. It was fantastic, but I can't play Sims 3 anymore. I went to my parents' house the other day to pick up a bunch of stuff that I have there, and I ended up taking all my Sims 3 games out of the house and bringing them home, and my boyfriend decided that he wanted to play them, so he was putting them on his computer. And like, I went in and I'm like looking at his game and I was like, this looks terrible. And I loved that game so much. It was fantastic. And I can't play it anymore. And it sucks because I have so much money invested into that game, it's disgusting. Like, I don't even want to tell you how much money I spent on the game because it's terrible. I really like how our kitchen turned out here. Our kitchen ended up being way bigger than I usually make kitchens in these starter houses, so I ended up just putting the kitchen table in there as well. You could separate these with a wall if you wanted to and add in a doorway, or you could just change the flooring in there. I use linoleum in there, which is weird. I don't usually do that. I usually use tile, but I don't know. I went for a really neutral kind of style with the inside of this house. Well, I mean, I usually do that anyway, but for some reason, I usually make the master bedrooms like blue or green, and then everything else is a neutral color, and then the other room ends up being a kid's room, so it either has like a really funky wallpaper, or it's just a plain color. So this one, we have the bassinet, we have the toddler bed, and we have the teddy bear. For some reason, like I said, I've been having extra money when I build these, so I don't know what I'm doing differently. Maybe I'm making the houses generally a little bit smaller than I normally would, but this is a pretty spacious starter house, especially that main living room area is really large. But we do have the TV, the bookshelf, the computer, the toddler stuff, which I already showed you. We have a little bit of landscaping out front here, and then after I checked our budget again in a couple of minutes, I still had money left over, so I end up adding in an art easel, a grill, and I believe a chess table as well. So lots of stuff in this build. Hopefully you guys enjoy this speed build. Hope everybody has a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching. As always, please feel free to leave me suggestions in the comments below for builds you'd like to see, and I'll see everybody next time.